Okay, so moving on to the dollar and precious, the dollar collapsed. It was pretty weak on Wednesday on the Fed, which the vote was more hawkish than expected. So classic good news, bad action, and the dollar extended lower on Thursday, breaking key support. We can see in the bond markets, which saw rates go higher, how poor the dollar performed. However, gold did get a little bit of benefit, but then on Thursday failed at the resistance that was created on the Fed decision. Silver has also drifted lower, and that also failed at resistance as well at the same time. And gold has switched to December, and it is $55 above spot. One story that did grab my attention this week was the official data for the importation of gold by China, and this is from January through to June. And you see that it's back at levels last seen in 2024, and actually the purchases in June were the strongest. And so as this gold move lower continues, then people are buying the physical. Let's move on to the dollar index, and week on Wednesday, good news, bad action, and then a real collapse on Thursday, but it did stop directly at that 99.70 point. But the damage is done, and longs should have exited the rest of their position. A daily close below 99.70 actually turns the trend down, and we don't have a great deal in the way of support. So 98.88 would be the first level. Also worth noting that the resistance at 132 was pretty much the high today. On the short-term chart, we've got 192.5 to 08.5, a long way up, and then we have a support zone at 99.78 to 70.5. The profile shows the damage, so we did actually hold the point of most time on the Fed, but then we took it out decisively on Thursday. So 156 is now another resistance point that is powerful. On to gold in world currency terms, and pretty poor really, so making new lows for the week. And on COMEX, we had that positive signal, which is now seems a lifetime ago, 2-3 weeks ago, and the reality is that we failed at the monthly resistance about a week later, and since then we've just gone sideways. So the trend is up, but we've got no momentum whatsoever. The reality is we're going to have to close above 42.31.9 to actually turn the chart bullish, and leave resistance a long way away at 46.35.3. It does mean that risk-averse traders can consider exiting their position if they wish, and only strategic players, if you want to stay in, you place your daily close, place your stop on a daily close below 4,015.9. Short-term chart really highlights the problem. So we spiked higher on the Fed on Wednesday, and then when we went back there on Thursday, we failed there repeatedly before moving back down. Final short-term support 4,076.4 before we hit, if we take that out, then there's nothing below until 4,023.5. On the upside, 41.35.1, and then a powerful zone where we failed on Thursday at 41.75.7 to 80.2. On the profile, it just shows really how there is a lack of momentum. Point of most time is remaining at 4,071, and nothing above until 45.32. Silver, we've got another positive pattern. So this is the third one we've had, and none of them have really developed. And it needs a daily close above 62.17 to confirm those signals and open up the upside. First target will be 72.08. However, we have now got a very powerful weekly base zone of support that extends from 56.13 to 55 even. So strategic players, keep your stop on a daily close below that zone. On the short-term chart, Again, I've highlighted where it failed post the Fed on Thursday into early on Friday, and we still have a whole heap of levels above the market. So in conclusion, dollar index trend is now sideways and longs should have exited. Gold trend is up, but we have no momentum. Risk averse traders should have exited longs and wait for a positive pattern or a breakout higher. Longs place stop on a daily close below 40.15.9 if strategic. And it's going to take a daily close above 42.31.9 to turn the chart bullish and historically target 46.35.3. Silver trend is up, but also no momentum. However, we do have very strong support. Place your stop on a daily close below 55 even if strategic, and risk averse place stop on a daily close below 57.60.5. And a daily close above 62.17 opens up the upside and leaves space to rally. And here are your supports and resistances. Okay, thank you.